words only have the meaning you give them.
Anything has the meaning you give it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true of anything.
That's
In
true.
fact, you and I are inherently meaningless.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Would you now?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, we're here for such a short amount of time, and we think that people are always thinking about us and caring about us. But in reality, like when we're face to face, it's great to see you. It's great to meet you. But until there's something that our paths are going to cross, it's not really, you don't have like a meaning, if you will. And my 92-year-old great aunt, I believe it is, just died. She's gone.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Still no meaning.
None.
No, I'm saying there was no meaning in any of it.
None.
Inherently.
Yeah.
Do you get this?
I get this.
I don't think you
but
do.
Make sure they get it.
Who? Oh. Inherent. So here's your Instagrammable moment. You are inherently meaningless, as am I. What that means inherently, when you're born, there's this sense of like, oh, it means this. Oh, you brought this beauty into the world. It's like, no, that's all assigned. Everything that we have in this life, everything that we say in this life is all assigned meaning. I think that, you ever done Landmark?
No, I have not.
Landmark, that was probably the biggest takeaway that I got from doing Landmark. It's cheap too, man. It's like $600
Yeah, it's
for a
really
weekend.
cheap.
It's stupid. But the biggest thing I got from doing Landmark was the serenity of I have no meaning. I have no meaning. Meaning like I can do whatever I want. I can create whatever I want, right? Like we assign meaning as a society to certain things. Grandma dies, meaning sad. But if grandma raped somebody or grandma killed somebody in her lifetime or did something terrible to somebody else, and say a family member of the person that she injured, the victim of your grandmother, heard of her death, that meaning for that person would be very different. Like, good, fuck her. She's gone. That's a good thing for the world, right? So society, we generally assign meaning to baby's birth, beautiful, amazing. But that's not, there's no inherent meaning in that. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's so empowering.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally like, I used to do this exercise with people. I'd say, all right, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine yourself in a room or in a field or whatever, right? Just like you're there. Like, you can look down and see yourself there, right? Then zoom out and see yourself from afar, like from above, like you standing in this field. Now, everything behind you, all of your past, all of your traumas, everything, just imagine that field going from like green, whatever it is, to white. And it's just coming to the back of your feet, just turning white, completely white. Nothing there. No green, no flowers, no trees, nothing. And then let it stop. Now zoom back in, look down at your feet and see where you are. It's white at the heels and it's green in front of you. And now let that white continue forward from your point of view, from your eyes. And it's literally you standing in a blank canvas.
Yeah.
You can reassign meaning to things that fucked you up in the past, and you can redefine the meaning of whatever it is you're going toward. That's empowering to me. So yeah, there's no meaning in life. Like you said, words require somebody to assign meaning to them. Everything requires that we assign meaning to it.
So what's your take on religion?
As far as what?
Does it have a meaning? Like, what about Jesus? What about God? What about death, heaven, hell?
Yeah. All assigned meaning by humanity. It all is. Now, again, it doesn't mean that there aren't lessons, that there aren't, I don't know. All right. Like if you tripped over a rock and then shouted back to me like, hey, watch out, there's a rock, right? Like that's a lesson that I could learn and then absorb and not trip over that rock, right? So like the lessons from Christ, the lessons from the Bible, all of that. Yeah, I think that that's not meaning. That's more like, yeah, okay, I've learned something from this and I believe in that, but it's still belief. I have an issue with organized religion anyway. I think organized religion is bullshit. Most of it, 90% of it. I think.
What's the 10% that's not?
I'm sure there's some. I don't know. I'm just saying like nothing.
Got it.
You know how you say
Yeah,
nothing's a 10?
Yeah.
Right? The same thing. Like nothing's a zero. Nothing's
Yeah.
100% or zero or whatever. But like 99% of religion is bullshit in my opinion. Faith and like relationship with God, relationship with the universe, relationship with a higher power. I believe fully in that. I think that that's a good thing because otherwise, like, what is there? There's nothing.
Yeah, and so you think it's a good thing because you've given it a meaning.
Yes, and I think that if you look at how that meaning comes to be, it's from experience, right? Like, if you don't have a belief that there is something bigger than you, I see those people typically don't live the type of life that they probably want to live. They struggle. But if you believe in something bigger than you and you surrender to that, I see those people thriving. The most extreme version of that is like your Bible thumping Christian. I kind of admire them to some extent. And I've actually been talking, dude, I can't tell you, it's this weird how it comes into your world, but I talk to a lot of people about joining Abundance. And at the same time, I've been in this space at 46 years old now of like, man, do I need to find my way to Christ? Do I need to find my way to faith more? Not religion. I still don't believe in religion, but I've been kind of going down that rabbit hole, listening to Bible. I've never been a Bible reader, but listening to Bible verses on YouTube, listening to certain things, reading books right now. I'm reading a book, A Purpose-Driven Life, I think it's called.
Yep.
Purpose-Driven Life. Yeah, on Audible. And it's really interesting. But at the same time, like every lead I've talked to has been a full-on fucking Christian. Like preachy, Jesus, love the Lord, Christian. Every lead I'm talking to. It's like coming into my life that way.
The same thing has happened for me on the podcast. So I'm wrestling with this myself right now. The thing I love about organized religion is the structure it provides for the kids and the family.
Yeah.
When you go to a church, generally speaking, the families there are good people.
Yes.
They're generally good people. Like
Agreed.
they're good
there's
values.
Still a difference here, but go.
there's some decent values. But all I can see is the business of church. I can't see anything outside of the business. Most tax efficient business in the entire country. Hey, let me tell you why we're going to pass around the fish fry basket and you're going to drop some money in it. Oh, don't ask where the money's going.
That's so interesting. But I don't think you're separating it.
No, listen. So all I can see is the business. And so I've struggled with it, but yet I've been feeling called to something and I don't know what that is. So I started listening to music. I started listening to Brandon Lake and I was like, okay, this kind of does something for me. Let me look into this further. So like you, I'm listening to a Bible, actual audible Bible, which when you really listen to the stories of the Bible, you're like, this is crazy. Like sisters and brothers and cousins, hundreds of years old doing, it's like, well, okay, I don't understand where this is going.
Yeah.
But I still feel like kind of called toward it, right? Just to explore it, to understand it. Like, do I need more there? And now I've had these conversations with people like yourself and God keeps showing up in these conversations. Hand of God has been on everything. Hand of God has been on everything. I lost my way and then I found God. And it's like this very weird way that it's showing up in my life at the same time I'm exploring it.
Yeah.
So my question to you is that God or is that your subconscious mind saying, hey, we're working on this. Let me show you other paths to it. Like if you weren't working on it in the moment, would you hear it the same way you're hearing it now?
Why can't it be the same thing?
It could be.
I think it's the same thing. I think when I say inner voice, when I say subconscious, when I say those things, inner being, I think that is God. There's an omnipresence out there. And I just think that it is.
Yeah.
Back to what you're saying. Is business killing you in some way? Do you feel like you're dying? Like you are a business guy, but what you just said is really interesting to me. Like, why do you hate business?
I don't hate business. I hate the business of church. And
Why?
The reason I hate the business of church is because in my experience, very limited experience of the church, there is this preaching of how we want to serve the community, and that isn't showing up. Now, that could be just the church that I'm in.
How so? What do you mean?
So let me give you an example. We went to a church service last year, and they had this campaign, Bring 5. Bring 5 of your closest friends to the church. Let's build the church. Okay, cool. Build our community. I love the notion of build our community. At that same service, the pastor, preacher, whatever you call him, put on the screen a spreadsheet to show how much you should be tithing and challenging us. If you're in the 5%, you should go to the 10. And if you're in the 10, you should go to the 15. And I'm like, wait, so we're trying to build this community of friends, of people, bring them exposure to the church. And yet on the day we bring them, you're asking for their money. Like that just felt wrong to me. That just doesn't feel good to me. I believe that business and the way I run business is service first. Service, 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 and trust. It's like the Gary Vaynerchuk jab, 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 hook or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Give, 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 give. And then you don't even have to ask. It's just going to come back. That's how you've lived your entire life.
100%.
Give, give, give. The church I see is ask, 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 ask. And that to me feels icky.
Because you're tying it to religion.
Well, because I'm tying it to my perception of what religion is.
You're essentially saying, hey, look, I'm in business every day. Over here is religion, which is supposed to be this pure, godly, white robe, angels, halos sort of thing. And you're taking this dirty thing that I have to deal with every day, business, and applying it to this pure thing over here, which is religion. The church is.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's. I didn't grow up going to church. I didn't grow up in religion. So
I did, but yeah, go ahead.
So I just had like the movie view of it, like, oh, this beautiful Sunday, everybody walks in there in their best dress and everybody just cares about each other. And like the church is rickety, but it falls down, but everybody comes together to help each other. Yeah. And I understand that that's a delusional reality. Like I get that, like that's not reality. And then when we started going to the church, and I even had coffee with the pastor, because I'm a believer that if you feel like you have something on your heart, you just go to the person and be like, dude, what's up? Like, let's talk about this. And he was, very adamant about he needs help, he needs support, he needs all these things. And I tried to show up for that. And then there was a bunch of red tape and a bunch of business behind it. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm just going to separate myself a little bit from the organized religion. But yeah, I still feel called. I still feel compelled to explore what's there. Because I'm just very curious to hear, like, the other day I was wrestling with this idea. We talk about Jesus. We talk about God. When people pray, they'll thank Jesus and they'll thank God. Are they thinking the same person?
I struggle with that too.
And then you talk about, okay, no, that's the Holy Trinity. Like, okay, well, what's the Holy... And then there's Jesus Christ. And the other day I saw a sign that said Christ Jesus. I'm like, okay, are these two entities? Are they the same entity?
Well,
Does the guy have dyslexia? Like, I'm really trying to understand it and I'm exploring it. And when I explore it and I ask the hard questions, there are some people that will answer and like literally sit down and say like, yeah, I understand your perspective. Let's talk about it. Most of the time I ask the questions, I met with resistance like, you're just not a follower. You just don't understand. I'm like,
well,
right.
Those people are stupid.
I don't understand.
Yeah, right. Those people are idiots. The ones who are going to use faith as some sort of one-upsmanship or some sort of hierarchical thing, like you're now on my level, fuck them.
Yeah.
But on the Jesus is God, God is Jesus thing, and then while I'm talking to Jesus on the right hand of God, all of that, somebody probably knows. I struggle with that too. And you know what? We could hear 10 people tell 10 different versions of that.
Yep.
And that's probably, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Meaning. We can all assign our own meaning. But I want to go back to this church religion thing. I did grow up in church, Catholic church. And I hated going to church every Sunday.
Why?
Part of it was the hypocrisy.
Got it.
I remember seeing a guy, his name was Dick, appropriately.
Ironic.
He would show up every Sunday at church in his Sunday best, to your point. But like, Wednesday he's in the paper for beating his wife.
Yep.
The next Tuesday he's, DWI, got trashed and went and, ran into a fence or whatever it might be, right? Like, but on Sunday, it's like, that's not the guy in the paper, right? Like, I get, you're a sinner, you're forgiven, all of that, but like, you're shaking hands, kissing babies, big smile, like, you just welcome everybody to the church, like, all these good people, you're playing good person, and you've got all these demons that you haven't resolved for yourself. That said, as an adult, what you said earlier, I think is true. It's actually, I think it's been proven. Engagement in church has a direct correlation to addiction levels, to, children that, income levels, right? Your kids will financially benefit statistically, will socially benefit statistically by participating in church, right? Mm-hmm. So in that regard, as an adult, I've separated the two. Like church and religion are two different things. The religion that the church is worshiping, that's up to you whether or not you subscribe to that. But what I hear with you is, man, essentially, if you boil church down to, well, what GoBundance is. Yeah. Hey, it's a community that requires income and money for you to participate in. Yeah. And we'd love for you as a member to bring in other people into this community. It's no different because what the church is giving you is those statistics. Yeah, your kids are better, your kids are less likely to be addicted, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
What I love about GoBundance is we celebrate successes and we help people through troubles. What I've experienced in the church, again, in my limited time, a year, it's only the negatives.
Well, then you got to get a better church.
Because it's always like, hey, if you're struggling in your marriage, if you're doing this, it's like, and I understand that when you're down and out, having a higher thing to believe in is something that pulls you through the storm. I get that. I respect that. I understand that. But it's like every day is doomsday. Like, come on. Like, we're in America. We're in the best freaking country.
What's the faith? Christian?
No, it's non-denominational.
Non-denominational. Yeah. I don't know.
Now, the music's incredible. Absolutely next level incredible. Yeah. Like amazing music. And again, I love like the kids see their friends and they go do their thing. And like, I love the community aspect of it. The other thing I really struggle with is they pride themselves in being a community-based church, which is important to me. Like where I live, where I'm raising my kids, I want this community to be strong. Like that's important. But it's one of those like mega church, 10 campus type things. And they stream in the main pastor every week. So you go to church to watch a guy on a screen. And he's in Austin, but he's not in Dripping Springs. And like, I understand those are only 20 minutes apart, but it's like, you're not in our community. And to me, I really like that community feel. And so when I met with the pastor of our local church, I said, like, dude, we need to hear you more. And he's like, yeah, that's just not going to happen. I'm like, yeah, but we want, like, I don't have to come to church to watch this. I can watch this on YouTube 30 minutes earlier and be done 30 minutes earlier. Yeah. Like, why? If you want me here, I want to hear from you. Yeah. You're raising your kids in this community. You're loving your wife in this community. You're doing business in this community. I want to hear from you because you have firsthand experience. So that's where I struggle with it a little bit too, as I see the business of it.
It's definitely a business.